Did you know that Starlink, which is one of the greatest little avenues that SpaceX has taken as a company, is one of the most prominent pieces in tech, as AMD recently partnered with Starlink to basically provide the chips to power the newest Starlink satellites. Now, one thing that's really prominent about SpaceX and what they're doing with Starlink is, that they have the type of tech that would allow them to, once they have those satellites in space, continue to be able to upgrade them, continue to have the hardware and the capacity to, as maybe there's more innovations that come along that have to do with connectivity or faster speeds or the bandwidth that's needed, are that those things are able to be possible with the current tech. It's the same thing with, when Tesla launches new models of Teslas, they're thinking, hey, we're launching these out to millions of people, but we're going to make sure that they have the tech inside them, that they were powered, like most Teslas have NVIDIA inside of them. And you say the reason why is because as AI is a prominent figure in Tesla, when those developments happen, they're able to essentially power the cars very easily and be able to upgrade them as the tech improves because they have the microchips already in the tech and already in the Tesla. And the same thing is true with the Starlink satellites. So with the Starlink satellites, they don't want to be in a position where SpaceX launched Starlink. They have all these satellites out there. And then, for example, when they have a deal that happens where I think it was T-Mobile recently partnered with Starlink a while back, actually. I think it was about 3 years ago, but they just recently got a bill passed of some sorts. I don't know that it was a bill, but they got approval to be able to essentially provide more coverage through T-Mobile with Starlink. So T-Mobile is partnered with Starlink. So that's really good for T-Mobile stock. And we could see that reflected in the T-Mobile stock, I believe. If we look at T-Mobile here, let's just take a look at how they've kind of done in the past year. You can see, look at that. I mean, their stock is at an all-time high. They've really continually gone up. I think the partnership happened back in 2022 or mid 2021, right around here was when they partnered with SpaceX, T-Mobile. And I'm not saying that the only reason they went up is just because of SpaceX, but when you think about companies like Rocket Lab, for example, that's a company that's in the space industry that has gone up very similarly, my gosh, because of being in the space industry and being on the frontier of what people see as innovative, right? And it is innovative. And so when we look at AMD stock, they recently just have this partnership that just happened at the end of October, that the chips are now going to be powering the Starlink satellites connectivity from space. Okay, so a couple things with AMD. They beat their earnings, right? They had positive earnings come out. And you can see here, in addition to aerospace companies, AMD notes it's been selling the Versal AI core chips to telecommunication firms for use in 5G networks, so probably like T-Mobile or similar companies. This suggests SpaceX is using the Versal AI core chips to speed up the data processing over the Starlink satellites, which have recently included beaming cellular data to smartphones on the ground, right? So what does that mean? Well, essentially, for AMD stock, they beat their earnings and they've sold off even after earnings. Now they're at this previous support here. This is a previous resistance back here. You see in 2023, and then previous support, and you see this support here. And look where we are. Overall, we look like we are in a really good position for AMD. They also sold off from their peak, what was 40% from their all-time high. And there was articles that were saying, hey, NVIDIA is the play for AI. NVIDIA is the play for all these innovations that are happening in tech, not AMD. And look, I get it. You want to bet on the biggest player, but with NVIDIA near an all-time high, not an absolute, but pulled back recently, and they crushed their earnings. They doubled their revenue this quarter. They're doing great. Year over year, they're doubling their revenue. However, with AMD, if you look at some of their focuses, they're shifting more towards data centers, more towards AI, and they're focusing on strategic partnerships like this one with Starlink that is absolutely going to, I believe, propel their stock. And if you look here too, one thing they just announced, they patented this new glass substrate to revolutionize chip packaging. So Intel and Samsung and others are racing to deploy this new tech. So AMD, they recently were granted a patent that covers glass core substrate tech. Glass substrates will replace the traditional organic substrates for multi-chip chiplet processors in the coming years. So in other words, they're finding new ways to improve and they're coming out with new tech and patenting it. So it's not like they are innovating, right? They are doing things. One thing that they also did is they're subcontracting out the manufacturing to Taiwan Semiconductor here. And so Taiwan Semiconductor, obviously, really great partnership with NVIDIA, and that's going to impact Tesla, that impacts Apple. But with AMD, with a lot of people saying, oh, maybe they're just in gaming, maybe they're not going to be able to capitalize on AI. If you go to their website right now, on AMD, I'm pretty sure their main thing on their website that they have now changed to is computing solutions to advance data center AI. They've actually changed Together We Advance AI. Like that's now their main focus, actually. So that's what they've changed. Look at their website. Together We Advance AI. It used to be more like fastest solutions for gaming and things like that. But that's something that you look. They're right next to Santa Rosa and Santa Clara. So obviously they're going to be similar to the same type of innovation I would imagine as NVIDIA, as they're right next door. And so when you look at, and that's not for sure, but when you look at some of the same type of partnerships that you'd like to see big companies like $250 billion valuation SpaceX relying on some of this AMD technology. And then you look at their stock and see it where it is. Look at the MACD. It's way oversold down here. Look at the RSI. It's all the way down at 14, right? It's really down there. And then you look at the overall technicals of the company, and we're at the support. To me, it makes sense that AMD could be a great deal. And this is like a Black Friday. This is the ultimate Black Friday. So I'll keep you guys up to date on this position. I think it's going to be a great one. Speaking of Black Friday, for those of you guys that would like to watch me trade live as soon as market open, you get our A to Z remote investing blueprint, how to build a crash-proof strategy, consistently growing your account, focusing on AI and technology assets. We cover technical analysis, fundamentals. You get our Stockmate community with our 2 books that I've written actually here for you guys. And we have an awesome discount here for Black Friday special. So if you want to go get access, feel free to go simply take a look down in the second link in the description. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.